What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on a 2004 Chevy Silverado, and we're going to be doing a few little things to this. The main thing is we're going to be doing knock sensors. We got them right here with a new harness. Fall off. We have, I think this is the wheel speed sensor right here. If I can get it open. Come on. Yep, wheel speed sensor, and then this should be the actuator door for the AC. He's got dual zone on this one right here. This is a Four Seasons brand. I'll put a link up to all these below. That's part number for that, 37537. This one right here, ALS 482. And this is a Holstein kit right here, 2KNC0025 kit, knock sensor kit. I've used those before. I've had good luck with those. They're, I'd say, almost comparable to an OEM, but I want to show you why we're changing the blend door motor. So I'm going to turn it down, and it's only on the driver's side. Turn it down on the cold. Can y'all hear that? It just keeps spinning and spinning and doesn't do anything. So we're going to change that out. I just got to grab some tools real quick, and then we'll be able to knock all this stuff out. I will go over everything in this video. We're right here underneath, and this is right here on the front. If you have a dual zone, this is where the driver's side is going to be. I took the connector out just so I could show you. You just push on this little tab right there on the back and it pulls right out. You're going to have two 5.5 millimeter bolts right here. They're going to be one on each side. So you just got to find them. I'll show you where they're at once we find out where they're at. There should be one. Well, turn my ratchet the right way. That's one of them. That's one of them right there. And the other one should be directly across from it on the other side. And this one you may need a little extension for. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. See if I can get just the socket up in there. Come on. And there's super coarse thread on these right here, just because I think they self-tap into the plastic. Thinking that there was only two. Don't feel any other ones. It may just be that tight. Yeah, it was just tight in there. That's it right there. We're going to compare it to the new one just to make sure it's the same thing. What I did right there was just turn the blend door to match the motor, so it would go in a lot easier. Now that it is up in there, we can go ahead and start the bolts. Now we're just going to reconnect the connector, and that should be it on that. We heard it stop both ways. I don't know if y'all could hear it, but I could hear it would close and open all the way and not keep trying to open. Normally what happens on these is the gears crack on the inside and they just start clicking and clicking, and just won't open it or close it, or it doesn't feel tension enough to stop the motor. But now we got that out of the way, what we can do is we're actually going to do the wheel speed sensor next. Alright, so as far as wheel speed sensors, I was thinking about a different truck that I could do without it. That, or I think it might even been the newer trucks you can do without taking the wheel off. On this one you have to take the, because it's four-wheel drive, you do have to take the caliper, bracket, and rotor off on this. So you got two 18mm bolts. I already got the tire off and went ahead and took the lower bolt off, so it didn't take up too much video time. But this right here is one of the bolts. Here's the other one, and you should be able to just set it up on top of the control arm. Alright, here's the other one. I'm trying to do this one-handed. See how I got it sitting up just on top of the control arm and the knuckle. Alright, there's that. And your wheel speed sensor is down in there. You want to use an Allen bolt. I think it is like a 5mm, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is a 5mm. And I'm using these RBRTs, and surprisingly the new sensor come with a new bolt and everything, which is pretty awesome. Normally you don't see that. Okay, there's your bolt. Now what we're going to do is it snakes its way up through the knuckle onto the control arm and onto the frame a little bit, and then behind the cover there's your sensor connector. So we're going to pull it out of its little maze, and then I'm going to take it out, put the new one in, and whenever I get ready to tighten the bolt down, I'll show y'all how I run it through here, because sometimes they can be a little tricky getting out with these dust shields. So I guess this one right here is going to turn into a little bit longer video. As y'all can see, he's got a bad wheel bearing right here. We do got the part coming. I already talked to him. He said do it because we're already in here. And the way we're going to do this, we got to pull the axle nut off first, and then you can pull off these three bolts that hold the wheel bearing in. And this comes as a whole hub assembly too. So let me grab the socket and take off this right here. I think that is a 32, and I believe these right here are 15s on the back. Yes, they are 15s, and most of the time you can get to them without taking the axle out completely, but luckily if we do have to take the axle out, it's not a big deal on these, because you can take them off right there and pull the axle back. But let me go ahead and grab a socket real quick and I'll pull this off. So the axle nut is actually a 36. Should have it back enough. We should be able to get in here. On this top one, y'all got dirt all over you now. On this top one, you're probably gonna have to use a wrench just due to the upper ball joint, but on the lower ones right here, we did get those out. I'll show you, because once you push the axle back, you have enough room just to get a 3-inch extension and a socket on there. So we'll use a wrench on the top and go ahead and take the 2 bottom ones out. So we got all the bolts out. The upper one, I can't get it completely out due to the axle and the ball joint. It sticks in between the two. But once we get it out right here, we may be able to pull it out, and then we can put some thread locker on it. But now comes the point where we're going to have to tap out the actual hub assembly. Now to do this, depending on where you live, it may be quite a difficult task, just because they can rust in there. But I live in the South, let's hope for the best. Move everything out of the way. Alright. Yeah, she came out fairly decent. So now that it's out, what I'm going to do while I'm waiting on the part to get here, I will clean up all this rust in here with some Scotch-Brite. So as soon as the part gets here and we start putting it back together, I'll show you the process. We got a precision part right here, and this thing is super nice. It's coated on the rotor face side. Come with a new wheel speed sensor already mounted in it, and it even come with new bolts for the rotor hold down for the wheel bearing, and even new bolts for the caliper bracket with Loctite on there. The only thing it didn't have Loctite on these. I know some people do it, some people don't. I like to put Loctite, this blue Loctite, on those bolts just because it does hold your wheel on. But that is the first time I've seen them supply caliper bracket bolts with these things. So we can send that other one back right there, and that'd be nice. But yeah, I'm very impressed with that. So now you will put this on. I'll probably put a little bit of assembly lube around this portion of it, just so it seats in and it kind of guides it in a little bit better, so it just be lubed up. Do not forget your backing plate. If you forget that, you will be pretty pissed off, believe me. I've done it before, and it's not fun. Okay, got it started. Thought I had it started. Bottom one started. Wheel speed sensor goes towards the front. I'm not going to torque them down just yet, because I want to get all of these started. Alright, torque spec says 133 foot-pounds on these. So to get the top socket on, I had to put the socket on, then the extension. And the axle needs to be pulled out just a little bit. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm just going to run the nut in for the axle, and we'll torque it down once we put the tire on it. Torque spec on these says 78. And there we go. Got the wheel bearing in. Now I just got to connect everything on the wheel speed sensor. Gotta love when one job turns into another one, but at least it wasn't all that bad. Got the wheel speed sensor all connected back on the control arm. Got all the brakes and everything torqued down, and I guess this is probably going to end the video right here, just because I wasn't planning on doing this. I was planning on doing the intake in this video, but we'll do that on the next video. So if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, also when you put the wheel back on, it torques to 140 is what it said on the spec in Pro Demand. Figure I'd give y'all that. I will put links up in the description for the wheel bearing, the wheel speed sensor if that's just what you want to buy, and then the blend door actuator motor. But like I said, if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. And y'all remember, torque this tight, and y'all have a great day. Just about forgot, need to torque down the axle nut. This torques to 177, and I got the tire on. And there we go. That is torqued down, and like I said, I forgot to do that, so I wanted to put this at the end as a little bonus feature. So hope y'all stay to the end, because this right here is in it.